Vaping has become a very big business, as I understand it, like a giant business in a very short period of time. But we can't allow people to get sick, and we can't have our youth be so affected.
All right, the president going one extra than that, though, pulling some e-cigarettes off the shelf after holding a meeting today on vaping-related deaths. Never mind the fact that a lot of folks say, however you feel about vaping, you just can't automatically do something like that. A family physician, Dr. Jen Caudle, says there is a problem going on here. She's not here to discuss what the president's doing, but more about how real the problem is. It is a real problem, right, doctor?
Oh, it's a huge problem. I mean, honestly, vaping and e-cigarettes and things like that, in terms of kids, this is the most commonly used tobacco product among kids. And there's a big problem with that. What President Trump seems to be trying to do is to get rid of the non-tobacco flavored vaping products. And one of the things I hope is that kids will stop using them so much. Remember, a lot of these vaping products have nicotine in them. Nicotine is highly addictive. Right. And in kids, we don't know how nicotine affects the developing brain. We also know that kids who use electronic cigarettes tend to be more likely to use regular cigarettes down the line. And finally, Neil, to be honest with you, there's a lot more than just nicotine in these e-cigarettes. A lot of chemicals that, honestly, we don't have a lot of long-term data about.
I grant you that. I just wonder, though, I mean, it could be a slippery slope that it's a product. If you want to keep it for adults, that's fine. For kids, it's separate. I get that. But I guess some of the fruit and related flavors that are an enticement to kids. But what if they're an enticement to adults and they can't have them? Do you worry about that then pox on everyone if he ultimately succeeds in getting all these yanked?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're basically saying should adults be restricted from getting the fruit flavors if they want to, and why should they be impacted when
especially
we're
if they're
concerned
trying
about
to
kids?
Get off cigarette smoking, which at this point is a far bigger health hazard.
Well, it is, but there's kind of two issues here. Number one, my opinion about that is yes. Remember, kids are developing, they are growing. E-cigarettes are not even indicated for kids under the age of 18. And we're finding that these flavors, the bubblegum, the mango, the you name it, is probably the main thing that's luring kids. So no, if we have a chance to curb that, even if it's at the expense of adults' choice, I'll be honest with you, Neil, the family doctor in me is really coming out here. Okay, so the adult doesn't get the mango flavor. I know they may want it, but if we know that kids are going to be less likely to use these products and we can potentially affect millions of lives, I'm all for that. And the other thing is, Neil, you're right. There are a lot of people in terms of adults who use e-cigarettes to quit smoking. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot we can talk about with that, but it's not necessarily an FDA-approved way to quit smoking for adults. This is what I would say. If they help you quit smoking, I think that's great. But there are many people who use e-cigarettes and still smoke cigarettes. So again, I just want to say, yeah. So I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying we don't have a lot of long-term data on it. And when it comes to kids, we need to protect our kids.
All right, for the kids who are having lung problems and the rest, how serious is this getting? I mean, we know about the 6 deaths. Real quick, your take on that?
Serious, like very, very, very serious. This is like nothing we've ever seen. And reading a lot of the latest data, it seems like, of course, we know that these cases are related to vaping and to not buy illicit devices and really to stop vaping. That's really the most important thing. But this is serious.
I hear you, doctor. Thank you very, very much.